Guys, Coach Matrix here from Mount Performance Center, bringing another Whiteboard Wednesday. Today we're focusing on weight releasers and we're calling it Take a Load Off and how we can use weight releasers to boost your gains. So, a little background. Weight releasers are what we call hooks. They're an effective tool for training strength and power, and they're extremely useful for potentiation. Now, we have to put a bit of a disclaimer in here. It is more suited for hook use by individuals with a higher training age. And we have to make sure that we're programming their usage sparingly, as it can be very, very taxing on our central nervous system, right? So keep that in mind when we're actually implementing the usage of weight releasers. So how do they work? Essentially, you load them up, you bend your knees, you drop them down, you send them. And again, this can be done with bench or squat movements. Keep in mind when you're actually loading up the bar and the purpose of the hooks, the total load should be more than the athlete can actually lift on their own concentrically. All right, so we'll go through the diagram here. So the athlete on the left, okay, has the hooks on the bar as they descend with control. Now, this total load is going to be more than that athlete can handle on their own concentrically. Once they are at their depth or just below parallel, right, for full range squat, you can see that the releasers will hit the floor and come off the bar. That athlete will then be able to shoot up depending on their goal for strength or power, forcefully in the concentric part of the motion. So here's some basics for releaser use. So we have three columns here in the chart. We have variables, bar load, hook load, and the tempo of which you're going down, or the eccentric part. We have strength and power. Depending on what you're looking to train, all right, your bar load for strength will range anywhere from 70 to 85% of your 1RM, and your hook load can be anywhere from 15 to 40% of your 1RM. All right, now when you're going for strength, you want to make sure that your eccentric pace or your eccentric tempo is anywhere from 5 to 8 seconds. All right, now if we're training on the other end of the spectrum, we're training for power or speed, right? The bar load is gonna be a lot lighter, anywhere from 46% of one's 1RM, and the hook load can be anywhere from 46% of the 1RM as well. So again, a very, very heavy total load, but again, a very big drop once that weight comes off, okay? And the tempo is anywhere from 1 to 3 seconds. Essentially, when we're doing overspeed training, we're just trying to have some control when our athlete is doing the eccentric portion of the lift. So for some sample programming, here we are. For the set rep scheme, if we're training a max eccentric, all right, we're taking that set rep scheme, we're kind of going based on how the athlete's feeling. We're working up to a heavy eccentric 1RM. Now, we're typically loading the bar with 80% of the 1RM, and then we're building, starting at approximately 20% of the 1RM on the hook load and looking to get anywhere from 20, 25, 30% or more on the hook load. Again, we're trying to find that maximal eccentric capacity. And the tempo has to be anywhere from 5 to 8 seconds, okay? Now, if we're doing some contrast training, right? So for example, a 5x5 cluster, right? 10 to 15 seconds intra-rep rest, right? The load on the bar is gonna be 80%, and we're gonna approximately have 50% of their 1RM on the hook load. Now again, you could also take a percentage of their eccentric max, but it will roughly estimate to approximately 15 to 20% of their actual 1RM. And again, that tempo will be 5 to 8 seconds. If we're training overspeed, right, a sample rep set scheme might look 5 sets of a 1 plus 2 concentric reps, right? So the athlete will be going down for 1 heavy rep coming up and then 2 additional reps as well with the unloaded bar. And their load intensities can range from 50% 1RM bar load and then have an additional 40% of their 1RM on the hook load. Again, we can also use a different percentage based on their eccentric max. The tempo, as said in the earlier slide, is 1 to 3 seconds, again, just to demonstrate competency and control. That's it for this lecture, guys. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email us at info@ironperformance.ca or look us up on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Till next time, guys, take care.